Well, a very, very good morning to you. If you've just tuned in to Morning Live, I tell you what, you've chosen the right program to wake you up this morning, which I hope you do every morning. But specifically today, the views that we're going to be giving you are magnificent as we come to you live from the Golden Gate Highlands National Park in the Free State, just outside of Clarence. And it is just absolutely magnificent. I can't tell you the weather is magnificent, but the scenery is just so beautiful. And the reason that we're broadcasting from here is because of the launch of SanParks Week. Now, what does SanParks Week mean for you and I? Well, basically, you know how much we love things for mahala? Well, you get into the national parks in South Africa for free this week. There are about 21 national parks. How many have we got? 20?
19 national parks.
Okay, 19. I'm just getting my figures correct here. So about 19 national parks, SanParks, that you'll be able to access. We'll go through all of them with you in a short while. But let's talk about this launch. All the country's national parks are open. And if you are South African, you're able to go in free of charge. Take a look at this insert. It'll give you a little bit more background about it.
The Golden Gate in the Eastern Free State, one of South Africa's national assets, is also part of the country's rich heritage that offers biodiversity.
So we are encouraging a lot of the South Africans, I think, to take this opportunity because they should be able to come and see what this park is all about. The 19 parks we have in the country. And I think it also contributes to making sure that the tourism sector is also boosted, and the domestic tourism in particular.
South Africans, they're always looking forward to the September month. Therefore, National Parks Week contributes to the programs of government for the September month, be it heritage, be it tourism, because national parks are not only about wildlife, they are about culture, they are about natural, and they are about broader heritage.
The National SanParks Week started 11 years ago with the aim of attracting more people to visit parks.
The significance of visiting these places is to teach us where we come from, and so that we can learn about our nature, know everything about our roots, see our culture and everything.
We are here to learn about our culture, our nature, where we come from.
This is a heritage month, and therefore if it's a heritage month, it's important for us to give back, like not to give back exactly, but then like to view at our country as a whole and as our nature, to take care of our nature. Our nature is important to us. That's the first thing as an environmentalist, as a university student.
New activities will be introduced as part of attracting more visitors to the park. A dinosaur museum is expected to be launched in the next 2 years, and the Golden Classic concert will be held in December. Ishmael Mudiba, SABC News, Golden Gate National Park.
All right, giving you a bit of background about this magnificent park that we're broadcasting to you from. All right, so I suppose I need to talk about this magnificent blanket that I have got draped around me this morning. Well, I opened the show freezing. It was terrible. So luckily, one of the generous ladies from our group that was singing for us, one of the Basotho ladies, gave me their blanket and they wrapped it around me. And it is just absolutely magnificent. But I have to tell you a little secret. Promise Dlamini, who's our producer this morning, she, of course, is Zulu. She tried to put it on me, and one of the Basotho ladies walked in, looked at it, and they were appalled. So Promise, you and I need to go for lessons. So she redid it, put it on, and here we go. I am ready for action, and I think I might run out of here with it on. Well, my guest with me this morning is also donning one of these magnificent blankets. Well, when you're in Basotho, you have to be wearing these blankets. Fundisile Mketeni is SanParks CEO, looking dapper this morning. Good to see you.
Thank you very much, Leanne. I was lucky like you. I also borrowed one blanket.
But you were telling me something lovely and interesting, is that the men, you wear it to the side, we wear it in the middle, and you've got to hide your safety pin. The men's safety pin isn't shown.
The safety pin should be over your shoulder. It should be not visible like yours.
Yeah. All right, well, great. That's our quick, fast lesson on the Basotho blankets, but I think they're absolutely beautiful. SanParks. So one of my favorite, if not my favorite place to be, and I think you know that by now. This has to be one of the most magnificent ones in the fold of SanParks.
It is one in our diverse national parks. Golden Gate Highlands National Park is a water heaven, by the way, and it's bordering Lesotho, There's a portion of Eastern Cape, KZN. Therefore, it's one of the very, very important national parks. We have decided this year to launch the campaign here. As usual, we had Free State here because we also conducted an expo trying to showcase the products of this area in partnership with the Free State government.
I mean, it's a big week for South Africans because, as I've been saying the whole time, and I'm going to continue to say it on the broadcast, this is the one week in the year that South African citizens are able to access and enter every single one of the national parks for free. It's been going through since 2006. What was the original idea behind it?
The idea is to make sure that all South Africans, especially the rural, can access these national parks. As we all know that we have a good history and a bad history about national parks. When people look at them, they think of a change in land use without consultation, making a way for wildlife, and then evictions were done those years. Therefore, we want to plug that gap to say to South Africans, these are your national parks. Since 2006, we have seen an increase. So far, more than 285,000 people visited our national parks. Last year alone, we were visited by more than 61,000 people in 1 week. Therefore, we continue with this campaign. What we are noticing is that people are looking forward to it. They know about it. I remember 2 weeks ago, I was up in Mapungube. People of Limpopo were saying, when is Mahala Week? When is it happening?
It's happening, it's now, and it's for the rest of this week until Friday. But some of the national parks have decided to actually open on the weekend as well. And that, I think, was a big complaint from a lot of people saying, but come on, man, we're working in the week. We need to go on the weekend. So you've heeded this call at some of the parks.
Yes, we are considering that. I need to say, our team is still saying, know your national parks. But there are 2 areas where we're not going to open. Namakwa, because the flower season, and the boulders in Table Mountain, which is a penguin colony. Those won't be open. I also need to emphasize, Leanne, that to the viewers, that this week is only open for free access, not for the other part of SanParks business, like the accommodation.
Yes. I'm glad you emphasized that, because I think it's important to know that when you come here, all that happens is when we talk about free access, what are we normally paying to get into our national parks? I imagine it's a different price at every park, but on average, what are you paying?
You pay on average about 80 rands, but we do have a loyalty scheme. The wild card. The wild card is a form of a package, single destination, multiple destination. And also there's also a differential pricing in some of the areas where we charge less for South Africans compared to the foreign citizens.
So this week you talk about a big influx, and you were saying that last year it was about more than 61,000 people entered the parks. Are you expecting the same this week? If not more, are you hoping for bigger numbers?
We expect more because we announced the campaign 2 weeks in advance, and we also visit some of the schools, and on top of the campaign, we will be visiting some hospitals and old age homes to reach out and create awareness about this, because when those people come out of those places next year, they should be aware that there's a healing place called the national parks. Absolutely. Places of social cohesion, places that are important for the future generations.
Indeed. Thank you. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Fundi, thank you very much. Fundisile Mketeni is SanParks CEO, talking to us here on this SanParks week. It's the launch today that's taking place. Fundi said the place of healing. I tell you one thing, that this is a spiritual place if I've ever been to one. If you need a getaway, if you need to just get out of the crazy world sometimes and just think, well, I think this is the place to come and find your soul. All right, let's take a break. We'll do some more soul searching after this.